Well, race fans, the NASCAR Pinty series have rolled off pit lane. They're scrubbing their tires. There will be 2 pace laps before we take the green flag in the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. Let's introduce you to the starting lineup for this evening's race. Starting in 19th out of Toronto, the Holler Magazine, RGC Watson Building Supplies Ford, number 02, TJ Renomato. Starting 18th, from Oshawa, Ontario, the RC Trailers, B&B Decals, Aielli, Strode Chevrolet, number 56, David Thorndike. Starting 17th, from Calgary, Alberta, the Fast Eddie Speedway Dodge, number 46, Brett Taylor. Starting 16th, having a little bit of problem on the grid, getting rolling. From Montreal, Quebec, the Dagobert Dodge, number 91, JF Laberge. Starting 15th, from Barrie, Ontario, the Leland NTN Bearings Auto Value Ford, number 64, Mark Dilly. Starting 14th, from Stouffville, Ontario, the Kubota, Chaco, Premier Bulk Systems, Kugel, Chevrolet number 3, Jason Hathaway. Starting 13th, from Bois-Chatel, Quebec, the Mercedes-Benz St. Nicholas Circuit Acura Chevrolet number 24, Donald Teege. Starting 12th, in the Castrol Edge Dodge, from St. Thomas, Ontario, number 17, DJ Kennington. Rolling off 11th from Sun Peaks, British Columbia, the World Financial Group Dodge, number 21, Racing Jason White. Now, race fans, your top 10. Starting 10th, in the Spectra Premium Bel-Mare TR Mitsubishi Dodge, number 04, from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, Jean-Francois Dumoulin. Starting 9th, from Halton Hills, Ontario, the K-Line Legendary Motorcars Chevrolet number 42, Peter Clute. Starting 8th, from St. Eustache, Quebec, the bumper-to-bumper Total Gates Dodge number 74, Kevin Lacroix. Starting 7th, in the Hotel La Concorde Silver Wax Pesty Drag iGraphics Ford, number 36, Alex LeBay. Starting 6th, from Roxton Pond, Quebec, the Mopar Pennzoil Dodge, number 27, Andrew Ranger. Now your top 5. Starting 5th, in the Silverline Tools Mopar CBRT WMI Dodge from Aurora, Ontario, number 1, Anthony Simone. Starting 4th, from Trois-Rivières, Quebec, the WeatherTech Canada Bel-Mare IBAC Dodge, number 47, Louis-Philippe Dumoulin. Starting 3rd, in the Trailcon Leasing Merca Dodge, number 59, from Halton Hills, Ontario, it's Gary Clute. Starting 2nd, from St. Leonard d'Aston, Quebec, the GM Paillet Chevrolet, number 22, Marc-Antoine Camarand. And your pole sitter, from Lachine, Quebec, the Rona EpiBen St. Hubert Spectra Premium Chevrolet number 18, Alex Tagliani. That is your starting lineup for the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. 35 laps, Michael Young. This is a sprint race.
Adam Ross, I never dreamt in my wildest dreams that we would be racing yet today. That storm came through, and I know it was a long afternoon. We salute you race fans for hanging in there with us all afternoon long, but we are about to go racing the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto.
And I think we're going to see a fantastic show. The conditions are beautiful. To the race fans who stuck around, thank you so much. You're going to see a whale of a race. Alex Tagliani slow-played qualifying yesterday. Everybody had cleared the racetrack. We thought Marc-Antoine Camarand was the car to beat. Alex Tagliani went down, laid down a huge lap. He's going to start first from the pole position. He fires first, and we're about to go racing.
Yeah, old Alex Tagliani snookered him. He went out. We thought he was done for the day. Field making their way out of turn number 11. We're about to begin the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto.
A sluggish pace to the green flag for Alex Tagliani, and they drag race down into turn number 1. He defends the inside of the racetrack. Look at these cars slipping and sliding into the first turn.
Nice job by Marc-Antoine Cameron to keep that car under control. Bumped on the outside. He and Tagliani got to bump in there, and then Gary Kloot makes a move to the inside. Drag racing halfway down the back straightaway down Lakeshore Boulevard.
We mentioned it briefly yesterday, but Alex Tagliani and his teammate Marc-Antoine Cameron had issues at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, made heavy contact early in that race, really affected both of their days, and left a bad taste, I believe, in both of their mouths. So they're hoping for a clean race today, but a race car driver never forgets, Michael.
Marc-Antoine Cameron doing a nice job clearing Gary Kloot, but Gary was right there at the start of that race. I thought he was going to be able to snooker that second position. Cameron got stuck on the outside. Kloot really battled with him, but Cameron came out the other end with that second position.
Well, what's fascinating there is Gary Kloot, as we've got a move being looked at anyhow by Anthony Simone in the 1. Gary Kloot finished third at CTMP this spring in May, behind Andrew Ranger and Kevin Lacroix. Now he's third again, but this time behind Alex Tagliani in the 18 and the 22 of Cameron.
The field stringing out as they make their way down the front straightaway. Clean as they make their way into turn number 1. That battle with the 74 and the 1 continues. Kevin Lacroix and Anthony Simone. Boy, the back end stepping up. There's a lot of water still on that outside. Not a lot of rubber left after the rains came through. They're going to be slipping and sliding, I think, till about the halfway point of the race.
That's also the driving style of Anthony Simone. Races hard at all times as Andrew Ranger to the inside of LP Dumoulin into turn 3. Kevin Lacroix trying to capitalize and make a move as well. Not going to work for Lacroix. He tucks back in line directly behind the WeatherTech 47 of Dumoulin.
Beaten and banging through turn number 5. The field snakes their way now through turn number 6. Making their way through that kink in that turn number 7 area down to that very, very difficult turn number 8. We have seen so many incidents down there in turn number 8, but the field looks clean through turn 8. Nice job by the field getting through there. And boy, for Alex Tagliani, he'll be coming through turn number 11 any second now, Adam. And he has gapped himself about 4 car lengths over Marc-Antoine Cameron. Oh, it actually got cut down a little bit.
Cameron looked to close in a little bit of that gap. And you know, a car length or two, one way or another, it's just going to be the difference right now of judging the braking zones. This is a very green racetrack. So right now what I'm seeing is about 6 cars out there, maybe a little bit more, in contention right now, because these drivers are going to pace themselves a little bit. We've got about 4 drivers in the field. Tagliani, Cameron, Andrew Ranger, and Kevin Lacroix. They like to lead races. Their favorite place to be is out in front. Someone like Gary Kloot in the 59, he's a very cerebral racer. He'll show his nose here and there, even when he doesn't have the intention to make a pass. At least that's how it looks to me in watching him run these road courses. He wants to keep the driver in front of him busy looking at his rearview mirror.
You know who's busy right now is Andrew Ranger. He wants that third position away from Gary Kloot. Really starts to close in, and boy, Gary Kloot, that back end, really stepped out, drove it right up against the wall, really nice through turn number 7 there.
Well, do you remember watching him yesterday through turn 11? How many times did he have that car pitched right sideways without even thinking of lifting off the throttle? He had his foot down, chasing the back end around the corner. How about Anthony Simone in that silver line number 1? He's given that car a good ride as well.
Well, Andrew Ranger wanting to get that third position away from Gary Kloot. Ranger will look to the inside now. Think better of it. He'll tuck in behind that rear bumper of Gary Kloot. Andrew Ranger has a very fast car. Already through turn number 2. The big battle on the circuit right now. Gary Kloot, Andrew Ranger. We're watching that battle as we see Alex Tagliani drag race down that back straightaway with the lead.
Getting a report of one car heading down pit road. Not sure what the matter is. Obviously, it's not one of our front runners. We can see all of them still where they've been running the last few laps. And amazing to watch is look at the gap between all of these cars. So they're close enough to capitalize on a mistake, but not so close, Michael. If something should happen, they can't take evasive action.
LP Dumoulin settling into that 6th position, but there you see Gary Kloot's 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. LP Dumoulin in that 5th position, but a great battle there. They make their way down the back portion of the circuit into the final complexes of turns. I'll say Andrew Ranger at least looks at this point to have the quicker car, but being quicker and getting around Gary Clute are two different things.
Very difficult racetrack to make a pass on. Toronto is probably the most challenging track we'll visit all year long in terms of where you can make a pass. But Andrew Ranger with a big run on Gary Clute. He's going to look to the outside. Watch him to swing to the bottom down into turn one.
Andrew Ranger will get his NASCAR Pinty's machine to the inside. Mopar sponsorship, and he will make that pass on a Gary Clute. Now, LP Dumoulin would like to return the favor, get back to that fourth position. Dumoulin started in the fourth position, fell back on the start. Wants that fourth position back.
It's almost like a boxing match at times. You saw Andrew Ranger fake to the outside. If Clute had dropped to the bottom, picking up on that, hey, this is a fake, Ranger would have tried to outbreak him on the outside. Because Clute drifted up to the top to run the racing line, Ranger was able to fake him to the outside, drive to the bottom, and get that preferred line through turn one.
Kevin Lacroix and Simone not giving up the chase either. That's a nice battle back there, but now starting to catch that battle for fifth, sixth. They're all right there together.
It's tough right now, all the way back through there. So you watch these drivers. Andrew Ranger was seeing Alex Tagliani and Marc-Antoine Cameron get more of a gap than he was comfortable with them getting. So make his move for third. We'll see what Ranger has right now. How much is Alex Tagliani holding back behind the wheel of that 18?
Tag looks like he's just in a rhythm right now. Got the lead opened up with about a 1 car length advantage over Cameron. Now about a 2 to 3 car length advantage. And this is where he settles in. Just gets into that groove. He's done it his entire career. Just hits his mark each and every time. Smooth, and especially good out of turn number 2 for that long run back to 3.
Alex Tagliani has set fast time at a bunch of races over the years. But the way he did it yesterday had to give him a lot of confidence. That was a great show he put on. That really had to have him puffing out his chest. So you give Alex Tagliani some confidence and a good race car, that's a tough combination to beat.
Tagliani, Cameron, Ranger running third, Gary Clute in that fourth position. LP Dumoulin started fourth, dropped back to 6. He's now in 5th. Kevin Lacroix in that 6th position. Anthony Simone will be running in 7th. And it's Alex Labay in 8th, Peter Clute 9th. Rounding out the top 10, DJ Kennington.
And what's interesting to me, Marc-Antoine Cameron running in 2nd. His teammate Alex Tagliani is right in front of him. More importantly, though, than that, in my opinion, is the fact that Cameron attempted a pass on Tagliani in our opening race and made significant contact. So I think that plays into Tagliani's favor as well. He's got to think, my teammate's not going to do that to me twice. Even if it was mutual contact, he's got to have in his mind, look, I got one get out of jail free pass on this one, but it's only a matter of time.
And it's still early in the season, but that had championship implications right out of the gate.
Absolutely it did. And what we've seen from Ranger and Lacroix, who are separated by just 1 point in the standings, our whole season is very much like the chase. It's only 13 races. You can't afford to have a bad race. J.F. Dumoulin to the inside of DJ Kennington down into turn 3. Wow, did you see Dumoulin under braking? That car got really loose into the corner. He was able to hang on to it and make that pass.
Dumoulin will grab that 10th position away from Kennington. Completing lap, or I should say working lap 7 of 35. Clean thus far. An impressive start. And with the weather that we had today, fantastic we're getting this race in. The Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. Tagliani, 5 car length advantage over Cameron and Andrew Ranger. Clute, and now the 47 of LP Dumoulin, starting to look to the inside, outside, back to the inside. Dumoulin letting Gary Clute know, hey, I'm here. I might not be in contact, but start looking in those mirrors because I'm coming.
Well, and one thing that'll concern LP Dumoulin is having Kevin Lacroix behind him. Kevin Lacroix is the most aggressive driver in our series. He demands perfection out of himself. He ran a whole season undefeated on a road course. It started in the middle of one season, I believe it was 2016, and ran through the 2017 season where he won every road course event over a calendar year. He is impressive, and he is not someone you want right on your back door.
Well, Dumoulin's running an odd line, just letting Clute know he's there, but you're right. Lacroix is right there. He's like, hey, you fiddle around too much, I'm going to come attacking.
He doesn't need you to fiddle around. He'll come and take it. That's the beauty of Kevin Lacroix. JF LeBerge makes an aggressive move to the inside of Brett Taylor in that 46. They're battling deep in the field outside of the top 10.
How much do you love this?
I love it. I get excited. Racing is about passion. It's about engineering, and it's about horsepower, and it's about speed, but it's about passion behind all of that really makes it tick.
Now you're going to see LP Dumoulin take a look to the inside of Gary Clute. Doesn't quite have the run yet, but again, he knows he's there, just can't keep in contact to be able to make that move. And boy, Gary Clute just lets that back end swing out, just hits the wall.
Well, you also got to remember, a stock car driver sits on the left side of the car. You know exactly where the left side of that race car is, and they'll use all of that track.
You pancake that left side every now and again. It might make you a little quicker. Certainly that wall's there to help you.
It's amazing what'll make a car quicker. Yeah. Sometimes you have to tap it into the wall. Wow, that really brought it to life. So David Thorndike being told over the radio the leaders are about 5 seconds behind you. Just be aware. David Thorndike's one of the gentlemen in the sports, driving for Jim Bray, another one of the elder statesmen of our sport.
I was expecting Anthony when we have a runoff there of the 46.
Brett Taylor through the runoff area. He's going to have to grab reverse and get that car spun around. He is off into a safe spot, but that is not the way he wants to spend the rest of his Grand Prix of Toronto. Looks like he took a sign with him.
Yeah. Well, the Bear got by him last time around and just struggling now to, and you get lost. Here's a replay of it. And that's going down into turn number 3. Wow.
Yeah, he really didn't have anywhere to go there. He was making a move, whether he ran short on brakes or whether he thought Mark Tilley would leave that lane to the outside. That did not work out for Brett Taylor behind the wheel of the 46.
Well, I think Dilly's looking forward, setting up to break for that turn. He didn't even realize he was there.
You only have so many spotters around the racetrack. The official spotters stand down near turn number 1. A lot of these teams will have people in different spots around the racetrack, but you have to realize there are going to be blind corners. And we saw it yesterday in qualifying when JF LeBerge made contact with David Thorndike. Thorndike putting his hand out the window, telling these guys, pass me on the left. I'll give you lots of room. And now Brett Taylor in the path of these leaders, and I don't think that's a good spot to be coming up on slower traffic. Thankfully, Taylor pulled down pit lane.
Andrew Ranger able to get around. Gary Clute still hanging in that 4th position. Boy, this might put Clute right into the LP Dumoulin grasp. This might be what Dumoulin needs.
Oh, that's going to be a full course yellow. Full course yellow. JF LeBerge in the 91 hard into the tire barriers. Wow.
And I think Thorndike got in the wall down into turn number 11. He hit really hard as he was trying to get away from Dumoulin and Gary Clute as Clute was trying to clear the Thorndike machine. Let's watch this replay. Oh, just never had a shot at it.
And those tires slow down the blow, but they don't completely dissipate that energy. The Dagobert number 91, a little bit worse for wear for driver JF LeBerge, although he's trying to grab reverse and drive out of there. You see the car lurch a little bit. Mark Tilley goes by with damage on the left rear corner of that NTN bearings number 64.
Is that rain or is that fluids coming out from the bottom of that car?
I don't think that's fluids out of the car.
Oh,
I think that's the kiddie pool that was created by all those tires filling up with rainwater.
Right. That turn 5 so difficult and really didn't look like he had a shot at making that turn. He nosed her straight in.
I had a feeling, and I should never say this, I know better, but I'm going to anyhow.
You did this last year.
This race was going to run without a yellow.
Okay.
I felt with 19 cars out there, good race car drivers, I thought, you know what, this one could go flag to flag. This restart is going to be chaos. Double file restart. Well into this event, we've completed 10 laps of the 35 laps. These drivers know how hard it is to pass. It's a heck of a lot easier to make a bold move on a restart than it is to set someone up under green flag and make that pass, Michael.
What was the line from the great F1 announcer Murray Walker? Unless I am mistaken, I am mistaken.
I thought I was wrong once. Turns out I was mistaken. Let's give you the running order. Alex Tagliani, of course, the race leader in the 18. Wins the 22 of Marc-Antoine Cameron, the 27 of Andrew Ranger, 59 of Gary Clute, 47 LP Dumoulin. 6th through 10th of 74, Kevin Lacroix. 1 of Anthony Simoni, 36 Alex Labay, 42 Peter Clute, 04 of JF Dumoulin. 11th is DJ Kennington in the 17, 12th is Jason White in the 21. 13th, Donald Teague in the 24, 14th is Jason Hathaway in the 3, 15th with some damage on that race car, the 64 of Mark Dilley, 16th is TJ Renamato in the 02, 17th, David Thorndike in the 56. And then we've got cars that are a lap down. JF LaBerge in the 91, the 46 of Brett Taylor. So I'm not sure if David Thorndike is getting the free pass to get his lap back, or if under our scoring system they go back to the last completed lap, which puts him back on the lead lap. But either way, David Thorndike will get that 56 machine back on the lead lap.
And we may be under caution for an extended period. That number 91 buried in that tire barrier, that's at the midway point of turn number 5. There's some good-looking race fans. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Well, they had to stay. They're here with TJ Renamato.
Yeah.
Holler Magazine, RGC. TJ Renamato is a pure rookie to this sport. Decided to come out and chase the Rookie of the Year title with the NASCAR Pinty Series. This is a fella, he is not a young man. He's not a teenager out there. But you would think to meet him and talk to him, he's got all of the energy of a teen. He is just a spectacular guy, a lot of fun to be around, having a great time out there and doing a good job keeping the corners on the car, because he did say this place is a little bit different. It's daunting. There's walls on both sides.
I'm talking with Dave Bradley for that Porsche race. These cars sit a tad bit higher. There we see he's out of the car. And that's good to see. That was a hard hit.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what happened. I mean, you can get into a little patch of water.
He wasn't even attempting to turn. I mean, he was gone just straight in. And you might have had a problem earlier in turn 4, and it just set him up wrong. And then when he tried, he might have been too far to the inside. So swing it out, try to make it, and then realize I'm done. It's a difficult set of corners here between 3, 4, and 5, and then setting up for that right-hander in 6. It's never easy.
No, it's not. It's a tricky racetrack. JF LaBerge walking over to the safety vehicle. He'll take a ride back to the pit area. Now they've got the car picked up. Now what we have to watch for, when they pull the car away, are they also going to pull the entire tire wall? Because he got it buried in there pretty well.
I know we probably can't use those General tires anymore, but we could stack 4 of them up and make that wall a little bit bigger. Won't do any good getting that car back to pit lane, but
no, this is a time where I don't even know if they'll try to get it back to pit lane or if they just take it to a runoff, drop it off.
Yep. So now working lap 13 of 35. That's the reason for the caution. JF LaBarge in the wall, and the tire barrier is turn number 5. So what does this do now for the mindset of Marc-Antoine Cameron? He's chasing down Alex Tagliani. Tagliani, lap after lap. Here's another half second. Here's another half second. Now he gets about a 5 car length advantage, get about a second ahead, and now we reset things.
Well, and you know the story I told about what happened in the opening round and how it might be on his mind and Tagliani's, how they made that significant contact? That's why a racer has to have a short-term memory. Once you're done today, forget about it because it doesn't count anymore. Because now, if he was laying back, he's put himself in a bad position restarting on the outside. I mean, you'd almost rather be first or third for this restart than you would be second.
The difficulty of restarting in one of these NASCAR Pinty Series machines. Again, starting to rubber the track back up, but it's still a little slick out here. It's just...
Remember when they delivered that Pinty's chicken up to the booth? That also left me speechless.
I still have that photo of us enjoying. It was wonderful. Pinty's Pub and Grill down into turn number 1. If you want to head on down to get a good vantage point of this restart, and you're in that Endicare Center and like to hop on in there, not only will you get a good bite to eat get something to drink as well. See some good racing action down there in one.
That's a great vantage point. Mark Dilley down on pit lane, so what they're going to do is try to tape that fender up or bungee cord that fender up, make sure it is plenty clear of that left rear tire so it's not making any smoke. I wonder if they have the same terms for the tools they use in NASCAR Pinty Series as they do in IndyCar racing.
Well, we don't. Our jacks are a little different. In the IndyCar Series, they just are hydraulic, so crew members have to work a little bit harder than the NASCAR Pinty Series.
You have to open the bottom drawer of the toolbox. That's where they keep the BF pry bar.
Right.
All of the BF line of tools happen in the big drawer.
Right.
Big freaking pry bar. They keep that down at the bottom, and they can move anything out of the way of those tires.
Bear bond, all that fun stuff. It got them back underway. It looked like that left rear might have been rubbing ever so slightly. It looked like they rolled it and got that cleared. Well, he's in a hurry. He's going to catch the rear of that field. We might be going back to green sooner than later.
We are indeed. We're going back to green this lap. If I heard Chris Knight, our race director, for this weekend only, a one-time engagement. He just said over the radio, 1 to go this time. Caution lights are off. We're coming to green.
I do believe, and that should give Mark Dilley enough time to catch the rear of that field. If we're going to go 1 to go this time by, I would think he'll have plenty of time to get.
If not, it'll put him just close enough that he can avoid the mishap should it happen.
And be flying down that front straightaway at full song.
So Andrew Ranger restarting in third. Gary Clute up there in fourth. I'm a little concerned for the 59 because LP Dumoulin has been trying to make moves on him to begin with. And he's got the inside line going down into turn number 1. These bumpers aren't just for decoration. It's not just to put headlight stickers on the front of these race cars.
Oh, Tag got a little antsy there and has a nice line. Marc-Antoine Cameron to the outside. This is how we started the race with this front row. Cameron leading on the driver's side of Alex Tagliani. The field starts to make their way out of turn number 11. Alex Tagliani hits the throttle. It'll be a drag race, side by side, bumping down the front straightaway.
Wow, look at them stacked up, running into the sides of each other. Tagliani leads the way down to 1. Here goes Ranger to the inside. Andrew Ranger with a big move to the bottom. Give Andrew Ranger the lead out of turn number 1. LP Dumoulin restarted in the 5th spot. He's challenging for 2nd.
Not to restart. Alex Tagliani and Marc-Antoine Cameron wanted the beat and the bang and allowed the back of that field from third on back to catch them.
Now it's a drag race. Marc-Antoine Cameron, he could be outside the top 5 before they exit turn number 3.
The outside line not preferred till they get, the back end stepped out. Cameron did lose that position. Wow.
We just heard over the radio that restart is under review. I'm not sure what there is to review there.
Unless they stacked them up and waited too long to go green. From third on back, they were hustling. And, Andrew Ranger, another fantastic move to the outside and got himself around Alex Tagliani.
Tagliani's got to be wondering, what the heck do I have to do to keep that 27 behind me?
Field now making their way through turn number 10. Here they come out of turn number 11 with new leader, Andrew Ranger.
Ranger leading the way. He has opened the gap back to Tagliani, but now Tagliani can get back into a rhythm. I'm sure he's a little bit warm under the collar there, but he's got to get back into his rhythm, get back into the line he's been running, and now let's see if he's able to track down the race leader. But unbelievable to me, Marc-Antoine Cameron into that 22. That was a disastrous restart.
So, too, for Kevin Lacroix. He might have been running 6th, 7th at the time. I thought he'd take advantage of that. He wasn't able to gain any positions.
No, he really wasn't, although he just got around Anthony Simone going down into turn 3. I believe Simone thought better of trying to challenge him from the outside, let him go by, and came down in front of Peter Klutz in that 42. So that puts them back into the running order where they were prior to that caution as the deck gets shuffled up just a little bit. Man, I love these races.
The sights, the sounds, the smells, the NASCAR Pinty Series, working lap 17 of 35.
JF Dumoulin to the inside of Alex LeBay. Put the Spectra Premium number 04 up one spot.
Marc-Antoine Cameron able to get back around. He'll take back over that third position.
And Tagliani was 0.4 of a second faster than Andrew Ranger that lap.
He closed the gap. He certainly closed the gap, Adam.
That is hauling the mail. That's also a driver who, you get a driver angry, that's at least good for 1/10 or 2 of a second on a track this long.
Oh, he's got the red mist going. Now Gary Clute working to the inside of Dumoulin. Will not be able to make that move. So everything's settling back out. But Andrew Ranger goes from third to first.
Smoke out the back of that 59 at Gary Clute. It just looked like a wisp of smoke out the back. Without trying to speculate, there might be something wrong, but if you do have a rear end starting to let go, we will smell that next time by.
You can assess a situation by closing your eyes. That is a good thing. Boy, Alex Tagliani is on the charge. Andrew Ranger better mind his P's and Q's because the pole sitter, Alex Tagliani, is coming. Ranger out of turn number 11. The gap 2 car lengths back to Tagliani.
And the top 2 have pulled away by about half a dozen car lengths over Marc-Antoine Cameron. Up into third, LP Dumoulin back in fourth. Gary Clute rounding out that top 5. And I would dare say Alex Tagliani is right on the back bumper of our race leader, Andrew Ranger. Maybe 2 car lengths between himself and the race leader.
We'll watch Alex Tagliani. He'll tuck right back in. Will not try to make a move to the inside. Now he does go to the inside. Starts to outbreak Andrew Ranger. Alex Tagliani back to the point, but will Andrew Ranger return the favor? No.
He gave it up. As soon as you saw Ranger move to the left of the racetrack to get a bigger arc into the corner, you could see that he was basically giving Tagliani that move right now. We'll see as the race wears on. We're just about to take the halfway point of this race. 18 laps down when they cross the stripe. 17 laps to go.
Now will Marc-Antoine Cameron be able to get that second position back? I don't think Andrew Ranger willing to give up that position so willingly this time. Here comes Alex Tagliani through turn number 9. The right-hander will be turn number 10. Then back through that left-hander. The change in racing surface. Now Tagliani sweeps out of turn number 11. 2 car length advantage.
Tagliani's car looked a lot better to me through turn 9 and 10. He didn't need as much racetrack to get his momentum going forward again, as did Andrew Ranger. But as I say, that Ranger right up on the rear deck lid of that Rona EpiBen number 18.
I would not imagine Andrew Ranger gave Tagliani that spot, but as he settles back in, he's still very, very racy. He's got a good car.
He is so. And I mean, I don't think he wanted to give up that spot. I think as Tagliani drove to the inside, I think he kind of realized there's really nothing I can do. I'm not going to beat him driving around the outside of this corner.
And you saw Tagliani working those brakes. He just worked him in and kept pushing to the point where, you're right, Andrew Ranger really had no choice.
So Ranger drives deeper into that corner than Tagliani, but you can see Tag get a better drive through the turn and off the turn. It's fun to watch 2 different driving styles that are both quite successful. Look at Cameron close in that 22 machine.
Interesting part of the course here, that off-camber turn number 10. You see that car get pitched up to the left, and then they come over that hump there. Andrew Ranger had the back end step out ever so slightly. Tough corner.
LP Dumoulin not letting that top 3 get away either. So we got 4 cars broken away from Gary Clute in that 59. He runs in the 5th position. And he's not out of it by any stretch, but he's not quite as close as the front 4 of Alex Tagliani in the 18, Andrew Ranger in the 27, Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 22, and then LP Dumoulin in the 47. And we saw Marc-Antoine Cameron make some moves last year on the outside going into turn 3.
Cameron is there trying to get back around Andrew Ranger. They worked their way through turn number 4. This is where the caution came out. Turn number 5, the curbing there. Ranger has the back end step out on him. Marc-Antoine Cameron is there. That is the battle for second. The field, works their way through turn number 6, now through turn number 7. And, boy, this is a big corner right here. Turn number 8 coming up next.
And if you're Andrew Ranger, you're looking out the windshield, trying to figure out how you can close in on the 18 of Tagliani. You've also got to have one eye looking in the rearview mirror at what Marc-Antoine Camerand is up to. It gets pretty busy out there for these drivers.
Is it me, or is Andrew Ranger's back end really swinging left to right?
Alex Tagliani, it looks to me, tries to take the most efficient line through those S's, the least amount of steering as possible. Andrew Ranger looks more like he's doing a slalom skiing course just attacking the turn.
Tagliani driving it smooth like he was in an open wheel car again. Down the back straightaway. Nice run by Marc-Antoine Camerand. He'll look to the outside, now dive to the inside. Will he be able to outbrake Andrew Ranger? Boy, he made that look easy.
Wow. That was a power move by Marc-Antoine Camerand, and now he's back into that position where I think really burns him on that restart. Once you're into second, he doesn't want to spend much time there at all.
So now will LP Dumoulin have anything for Andrew Ranger?
Some of the things I say sound so brutally obvious and dumb, but Marc-Antoine Camerand, now that he's in second, it becomes important to try to make that pass for first, because another restart is going to give him a lot of work to do once again as Gary Kloot back in that 5th spot under attack from Kevin Lacroix in the 74.
Kevin Lacroix, we expected maybe making a bigger move on that restart, but now really working over the rear bumper of Gary Kloot. There they come out of turn 11.
We'll see if Lacroix is able to drag him down this front straightaway into turn number 1. He looks to the inside, nothing there. He'll tuck back in behind the Merca Trail Con Leasing number 59 as Gary Kloot as they head down Lakeshore Boulevard.
Looked like Kevin Lacroix when he hit the brakes there for a moment. That front end wanted to twitch on him ever so slightly. Boy, he's got a nice run. Gary Kloot doing everything he can to keep Kevin Lacroix behind him. Looks like Gary Kloot has a handful right now.
Oh, and Kevin Lacroix, a little tickle of the back bumper of Gary Kloot. So, folks, if you're near one of the big screens here at the Indy, try to look through the windshield of these cars when we see them coming towards us down the straightaways. Watch their hands on the wheel and how much work they're having to do. The more you see their hands moving, the worse their cars are handling.
Well, I would imagine Gary's sawing at that wheel right now, because we know he likes to throw that car around, but we see damage to that left rear, and that's probably that puff of smoke you saw earlier.
Yeah, and that could be. That may very well be true as Kevin Lacroix snaking his way right behind the 59 of Gary Kloot. If he can get a good clean run off of turn 11, we can expect Kevin Lacroix to make a move down into 1.
Kevin Lacroix had a heck of a move. Will he be able to get around Gary Kloot this time? Stays right behind him, now ducks to the inside. Will think better of it, tuck back in. So Gary Kloot defends that position for one more quarter.
That's impressive to me by Gary Kloot. Kevin Lacroix had a great run, and it's sometimes easier to make that dive into the corner when you're behind a driver, because the driver in front doesn't quite know where the edge is. The driver behind can take advantage and use him as a gauge. Now Lacroix going to look to the outside into turn 3.
Trying to do the over-under, unable to do so, but did nearly get that fender to the right rear of Gary Kloot. Tagliani, I don't know if you noticed, setting up for turn number 3. He got right up against that wall before he drove her in.
And if you're going to try a crossover move in 3, you've got to complete it. That's a slide job, because if you don't finish it, you'll wind up on the outside of 5. And look at this, Marc-Antoine Camerand right up on the back bumper of the Tagliani number 18.
Well, if an issue for Tagliani, but he drove it right along the wall to the entrance of turn number 3, drove it in extremely late. Back end twitchy, Alex Tagliani. Now through turn number 9. I should say turn number 11. 2-car length advantage over Marc-Antoine Camerand. Drag race down to turn 1.
Let's remember, Marc-Antoine Camerand has made himself famous by winning on a street course. He has won so many races at the Grand Prix of Trois-Rivières. Very similar, rough racetrack, a street circuit, walls on both sides. He is an ace at these type of courses.
How much of this is Marc-Antoine Camerand just settling in, and how much playing nice as he takes a look to the outside?
He's playing nice, but he's pushing. He wants this pass. I don't think he wants to stalk him for this whole race. He wants to get out front and lead this one as Gary Kloot trying to defend his 5th position from Kevin Lacroix.
So Kevin Lacroix battling for that 5th position, he and Gary Clute. As we see that battle for the lead. That's through turn number 6. A slight kink, then they will hit turn number 7.
Ooh, Tagliani got a little tail happy there through turn 7, down into 8.
Kevin Lacroix, nothing this time. Boy, Gary Clute's doing a great job holding him off. That's a great battle right there.
He is a focused driver, Gary Clute, a really talented road course racer, part-time on the circuit, and I love it when he shows up to race, always puts on a good show.
Andrew Ranger starting to fall in the grasp of LP Dumoulin. Oh, it's a good run for Kevin Lacroix to turn number 11.
Lacroix down past the start-finish line towards turn number 1, not even looking to the inside. Maybe he wants to push Clute into the turn. Force a mistake out of the driver of the 59. No, Lacroix stays right in the tire tracks as they come off a wall.
Will he show him a bumper or will he get by him cleanly?
Kevin Lacroix will do what it takes. I mean, he won't crash somebody to do it, but if it means putting a little bumper to him, and it took a couple of seasons for Lacroix to really understand. And there we go, a little bit of bumper, got the line to the inside. Gary Clute shut the door. Lacroix, he was so very fast right from the start. But what he had to learn was how that front bumper works. And it's not just a smashing into somebody. You massage them, you lighten the back end of their car up a little bit and force them into making a mistake. That's how you use your front bumper. And he's become very good at it.
There's a nice battle there. That's Anthony Simone. Dumoulin trying to get around him there.
Alex Tagliani streaking off turn 11 down towards turn number 1. 10 laps to go. Tagliani with Marc-Antoine Cameron applying the pressure in that number 22.
I will give hats off to Gary Clute as now we see Kevin Lacroix working the outside. When Gary Clute went down into turn number 3, he was basically out of control. He drove it in so deep, you saw him wiggling under braking. And that's when Lacroix tried to make that move to the inside. And Gary got back on the throttle, drove it up into 3.
Well, I think Lacroix had him a little bit jacked up going into 3. You get that front bumper in there, you just lighten that back end ever so slightly, and it takes away the braking power of the 59. Now Lacroix is just trying to stuff it down the inside. Can he hold on to it?
Nice pass. Kevin Lacroix getting around Gary Clute. It took about 6 laps for it to happen, but he finally did it. Well done.
That's just great stock car racing. You use the tools at your disposal. He certainly did that. Let's see if Gary Clute can keep the pressure on Lacroix and possibly return the favor.
Well, Anthony Simone losing that position.
I don't think Alex Tagliani likes how close Marc-Antoine Cameron got. He seems to have found another gear in that 18 machine. He's opened up a couple of car lengths on the 22 of Cameron.
Well, J.F. Dumoulin started this race 10th position, hasn't made up a lot of spots, but up to 7th. That was a good pass around Anthony Simone.
Yeah, he's made some nice passes.
Andrew Thorndike, LP Dumoulin will.
Remember, Andrew Lacroix out in front of third place in the point standings by 20 points. Ranger Lacroix 1 point of each other for the lead.
Tagliani in 4th?
I'd have to look that up. I should know that right.
I know Tagliani's up there in that.
He's in that trio of cars that are about 20 points back. As we look at Jason Hathaway trying to get around Jason White.
It's a nice battle further back in the field. It's a battle from 11th on back. But up front, Alex Tagliani leads over Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Oh, Donald Deeds to the inside of Hathaway. Almost contact. So Tagliani is 3rd, LP Dumoulin 4th, Alex LeBay 5th. Marc-Antoine Cameron way back in 11th. He has had a tough start to his season.
I believe Tagliani started the weekend. Is that we score it as the race goes? So Tagliani may have picked up a spot. That is the way it's standing at the start of the race.
That's the start of the race.
Okay.
So those were the standings after Autodrome Chaudière. Mark Gilly all by himself in that 64 NTN bearings machine, just kind of turning in laps. Jason White making a move to the inside of DJ Kennington down into turn 3. Nice job by racing Jason White to take that position from the 17 of Kennington.
Oh, big
trouble.
contact.
Jason White has clobbered the wall. There's a lot of debris out on the racetrack.
Caution.
Put it out. Now the caution. I think the people running the TV put out the yellow before the race director did. Wow.
Boy, White and Kennington, there's no love lost right there.
Oh, you know what? Those cars are prepared out of the same shop. Jason White and DJ Kennington, friendly folk. Now, there may be some issue. Kennington does look to be... Yellow flag.
Yellow out, but they're still racing.
So we'll look at this replay. We're only going to catch the tail end. Jason White has already tail slapped that wall. But you know what? There's really not much back there on these race cars that you can do much damage to. I mean, it's ugly. And the person behind is going to say, well, how am I going to run into him now? There's nothing there but a fuel cell, but there's protection around it.
Yeah, the back end for White stepping out at the exit of turn number 5, and it snapped on him more than anything else. And when it snapped, it took the whole rear end of that car off.
So who didn't want to see this yellow flag, Michael?
Maybe a guy named Alex Tagliani.
And who else?
Marc-Antoine Cameron.
You know what? Tagliani, at least he knows. If I'm Tagliani, I'm going to drive into turn 1 with my right side rubbing the inside wall. I am not giving up the inside. If you're Cameron, you're in a little bit of trouble right now.
So we're working lap 30 right now. When they come by, we'll have 5 laps remaining.
That's been a lap ahead. So right now, officially, I believe officially, 26 laps are complete on the scoring that I've got, but that may be wrong too because this may need to be refreshed.
In any case, this will be exactly what Andrew Ranger wanted to see. He will start on the inside of row number 2 again.
Yeah, 29 laps are now complete now that Tagliani is crossed. So the TV shows what lap we're on. Have a look at that race car, the 18 of Alex Tagliani. Both sides right now are clean. Oh, Gary Clute in the 59 down on pit road. The crew looking under the rear end. The way they're shaking that car back and forth makes me wonder if they think there might be a problem with the track bar, which locates the rear end and makes sure both of your rear wheels are pointing in the direction you want them to.
Caution and a tough break for Gary Clute. Really ran a strong race, but with all the beating and banging, that too bad. Bad to see.
So the 21 of Jason White is going to be posted at the line. He will have to come into the pits. You must have a rear deck lid on the race car. And his trunk lid is not there.
Going to be hard to do. I don't think there's enough bare bond in the world to get that to happen. And there's Gary out of the car, obviously disappointed.
Yeah, he was having a good run in the
Real
top
good.
5, that Trailcon Leasing sponsored car. I'll bet you $20 he's about to give a big smile, though, because Gary Clute is always smiling.
He did. Camera right in front of him, but he did have a big smile on his face as the interview began.
Todd Lewis down there interviewing Gary Clute for TSN. That's Big Stan with the camera on his shoulder. You don't mess with the Stan.
I believe you. Anybody that lugs a 30-pound camera around all weekend long, much respect for. Much respect.
This sport is full of so many characters. Joel Robinson was down there as well from Fuel Media Lab. So anyone that's watched our NASCAR Pinty Series races on TSN, Joel Robinson is the man behind the production. And the legendary Jim Robinson, his father, is standing right beside us, member of the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. Now Jason White in the 21 down on pit road. They're going to have to figure out a way to secure a rear trunk lid to that race car. You can see the NASCAR official standing over them. Oh, I love duct tape. Did you Google red green yet?
Yes.
Did you watch any?
Yes. Impressive.
He's brilliant.
Very impressive. I would even go as far as to agree with you. Brilliant would be the right word. Brilliant.
And what's funny, I believe his name is Rick Smith, if I'm not mistaken. I don't care for his comedy. He's been a comedian forever, but I love him as Red Green. That's right, he was half as Smith and Smith. A voice in my head just said that.
Fellow Canadian Ken Schultz with Palmer Audio, bringing us all the audio capabilities this weekend.
Is he really a comedian? Just a funny guy, or?
Oh, he's a Canadian.
Canadian.
He's full-on Canadian. Well, he is a comedian too, and you hang around him long enough, you'll be laughing not with him but at him.
So glad so many fans stuck around. That was vicious weather that blew through here earlier, but what a show they are seeing here in the NASCAR Pinty Series. A little bit of damage to the left rear of Tagliani. That's not going to cause any problems whatsoever. But get a good look at these race cars, folks. If you want to snap a picture on your phone, you might be better off to do that right now than you will be in 4 laps. There's 5 to go, but I think in the next 4 laps you're going to see some of the fenders disappear off of these race cars. And Jason White headed back onto the racetrack. I mean, you don't get a rear deck lid as secure as you can with about 8 runs of duct tape.
That could be another 50 pounds of weight on the rear end of that car by you put that much duct tape on there.
It all balances out. Look at how much bodywork disappeared when he slapped the wall. It's even.
I'll give you that.
It's like Indiana Jones putting the bag of sand as he takes the relic
off. It really
off.
is. Just hope a big stone doesn't come rolling down the circuit here. A lot of debris, and hopefully we will get back to green flag racing.
Looks like Brett Taylor's going to get the free pass, and they have not released him yet, so that means we're at least 1 more lap before we go back to green. I expect they're going to tell us. The way it works with NASCAR on a road course, they designate what corner they give the 1-to-go signal on. And here in Toronto, it's turn 5. When they get to turn 5, they decide, okay, 1 to go. Send the free pass car, double up the field. So officially, Chris Knight just said we are not in NASCAR overtime, because if you get to a situation where there's only 2 laps to go when you take the green flag, if you get to 1 lap to go, you have to run 2 more laps because they have to get that green-white checkered. So he makes it very clear this is not the green-white checker, because there will be 3 laps to go when they take the green flag. So Brett Taylor launched a little prematurely. He launched at the start-finish line. As I say, they don't give the 1 to go until turn 5. And I don't know why they do it, but they don't want the free pass car to necessarily catch the back of the field when they come to the restart and give them too much of an advantage. They sort of leave them in no man's land halfway through the lap, but back on the lead lap.
I'm just looking at the running order right now. I wonder about J.F. Dumoulin and how he'll handle this restart. I know Andrew Ranger's going to make a move. That won't surprise me at all. Kevin Lacroix right there. LP Dumoulin will start on the outside. Lacroix will be on the inside. And Dumoulin will be on the outside. So, boy, I don't feel bad for Alex Tagliani or Marc-Antoine Cameron at all. They're going to have their hands full.
You got to have eyes in the back of your
Oh, my
head, the
gosh.
sides of your head. You've got to see everything, and at the same time, you don't want to see anything.
Yeah.
Just run your line into the corner, get as deep into there as you can, still being able to make that turn one. And like I say, Anthony Simone, I told you yesterday, if he has a sniff of a podium result come the end of this race, he will stop at nothing to try to break into that top three. That's just his driving style.
All right. 3 to go when we cross the start-finish line. Alex Tagliani, oh, he jumped that time. We're going through turn number 9. He'll let Marc-Antoine Cameron catch him again.
He does that, and I'm not crazy about it, but it creates that accordion effect, right? It creates a little bit of chaos behind you.
Oh, and he jumped early.
He hasn't gone yet. He's just kind of stretching it out. Let them close back in.
There you go.
Green flag is out, 3 laps to go in this one. The fenders are flying already. Look at Alex Tagliani defended to turn 1. Andrew Ranger on his back bumper. Lacroix on his back bumper. Marc-Antoine Cameron to the lead on the outside.
Alex Tagliani trying to defend that position, but Marc-Antoine Cameron will take the lead. Alex Tagliani bodywork flying down Lakeshore Boulevard. And now Andrew Ranger will look to the outside midway point down the back straightaway.
That bodywork is not going to help him. It's not going to kill him, but it's definitely having an effect. Now Tagliani trying to defend Kevin Lacroix. Andrew Ranger deep into turn 3. They're side by side off the corner. Oh, my goodness.
Alex Tagliani will hold on to that second position, but Andrew Ranger is there. Serious damage to Kevin Lacroix as well.
Serious damage, but Lacroix's up to 4th. That's as high as he's been running. And look at J.F. Dumoulin in the 0-4. He has been good under braking all day long on that Spectra Premium number 0-4. Let's see if he can make a move.
Well, the big loser in that. Contact with Cameron into the tires at turn number 8.
Full course yellow. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe they all made it through. If we can show a replay of every driver who just drove through there that could have added to that wreck, yellow flag is out. We are going to have another restart before the end of this one. And this is the same thing we've seen here before with Cameron, just overheating a corner just a little bit, and he couldn't hang on to it, slaps that wall. And what a job by Tagliani. Watch how close everyone comes to clipping the 22.
Marc-Antoine Cameron hit those tires so hard that car rebounded back into the racing line. Amazing, as you said, Adam, that everybody made it through unscathed or semi-unscathed.
GM Paillet brings such a great number of people to the races. I met Patrick. I bought a truck from them last year. They support a race team in the NASCAR Pinty series. I needed a new truck. Thought, what the heck? I'm going to call the people at GM Paillet, and that's what I did. Great to see him. Great to see their gang. But, oh, my goodness, that Chevrolet needs some attention.
Theoretically,
and you know
had
what?
the win in his grasp.
I'm so glad that now that happened. I'm glad nobody took him out.
Right.
That was one driver just shooting over the limit by a hair, and a bunch of other drivers doing a fantastic job not to pile in. Looks like wow. He tagged the wall coming back towards the field.
Yeah.
And it's possible
he hit the wall on the inside of 11 there, and it bounced him back out again. He's tore every corner off that car.
I've seen drivers before try to clear their own debris by hitting the wall. But I don't think, because half the car is hanging off, I don't think that's what he was attempting to do there.
I would love to see that restart down into turn number 1. Tagliani lost all of that body work. He and Marc-Antoine Cameron. We saw Andrew Ranger dive down. LP Dumoulin lost a few spots, fell back to that 5th position.
They're going to have to, okay, so now officials are looking at the bodywork on the 18 of Tagliani to make sure that they don't need to call him to pit road. I would be surprised if they do. It's still fairly secured out there. They're going to have to sort out the running order. So they go back to the last completed lap, which in this case I think will be the run to that green flag restart. Wow. Look at the order these cars are in right now. We are going to see some big shuffling right now. We're also going to hear what they're going to do with a time limit on this race.
We were scheduled to checkered flag this with either the lap count or 8:10.
Well, I'm going to look over to savvy veteran Jim Robbins. Jim, do you think they're going to clock this one? Do you think they might call it the clock into play and make this a timed event, or do you think we're going to see overtime?
Now on the video screens, we've had 3 to go up there for the last 2 laps. So we may be going into a timed situation. Just speculation. Boy, what a horrible end for Marc-Antoine Camirand.
Oh, that'll be such bitter disappointment for Camirand. So the word from the officials, they are satisfied that the quarter panel on the 18 of Tagliani is secured well enough that he can continue out there.
There he comes, just out of it, missed the apex of the turn altogether and just slid it in. But watch right here. So Tagliani makes it through. Andrew Ranger looked like he darn near hit the wall. He was up on that curbing in turn number 8.
Well, Kevin Lacroix was right on his bumper. Yeah. They all were. And if any one of them, Simone's getting pushed through the corner. If
Simone
any
made
one
contact
of them,
with him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, had clipped him on the back. And we're going 1 to go this time. So we're going right back to racing, folks. We want to end this with an exciting green flag finish for you. We hope you want the same thing. But I was saying, if anyone clipped him with their left rear, it would have nosed them straight into the wall as well and just created absolute chaos.
I said I didn't feel too bad for Marc-Antoine Camirand and Alex Tagliani last time because they had this field in control. But now I don't envy Alex Tagliani at all. He'll have Andrew Ranger to his outside. He has damage to his left rear. That's a tough spot to be in if you're Alex Tagliani.
It is so. The race order being shuffled just a little bit. Look at the 47 of LP Dumoulin. He's back in front of the 04 of JF Dumoulin. We're coming to green this time. They want them doubled up. Here we go, race fans. Green-white checker with the NASCAR Pinty Series. We are in NASCAR overtime.
Tagliani will not burp the throttle. He will keep a steady pace, making that left-hander, which is turn number 9. Actually, they're already through 11. I'm sorry. Now making their way down the front straightaway. LP Dumoulin pushing Alex Tagliani.
Andrew Ranger screwed himself. He got out ahead of the 18, and Alex Tagliani saw it, hung back, and that's going to make things really difficult for Ranger to make this move. Goes into the corner on the outside of Tagliani, but Tag will hold the lead coming off of turn 1.
Alex Tagliani may have snookered Andrew Ranger on that restart. LP Dumoulin will fall into that 3rd position. Kevin Lacroix running in the 4th position.
It's going to be a green-white checker, which means this time at the stripe they will see the white flag unless a yellow flag flies. So there's a lap and a half left to go as they battle into turn number 3. LP Dumoulin makes a move on Kevin Lacroix. He'll take over the 3rd spot.
What a great job by Alex Tagliani on that restart. Checked up the field and was able to allow Andrew Ranger to get out ahead of him. Ranger not able to grab that position down into turn number 1.
JF Dumoulin putting the pressure on Kevin Lacroix. Remember, turn 8 was the corner that Marc-Antoine Camirand had so much trouble with. That's where they're heading right now. Tagliani gets through that turn, gets on the throttle clean.
Tagliani now through turn number 9. That right-hander.
Problem for Tag. He checked up a little bit. There's some sort of problem on the 18. Now the 27 of Ranger right up on the back bumper. Sorry, Michael.
Here comes Tagliani out of turn number 11. The race down into turn number 1. Andrew Ranger will make the move to the outside. He'll tuck back contact down into the entrance of turn number 1.
Ranger going to go from the outside, try to look to the inside off of turn number 1. It's going to be a drag race down Lakeshore Boulevard. Who's going to get the drive into turn number 3? Tagliani with the lead.
Final lap, Alex Tagliani halfway down the back straightaway. Andrew Ranger 2nd, LP Dumoulin 3rd. Ranger will look to the outside under heavy braking, losing control of the car. Now contact with Tagliani into 3.
This race is far from over, folks. LP Dumoulin in third. He is in position as well. Andrew Ranger right up on the rear deck lid. I've got to think turn number 8 is the opportunity, Michael.
Kevin Lacroix in that fourth position nearly took the rear end out of LP Dumoulin. Great battles. Alex Tagliani. 1 car length advantage over Andrew Ranger. The field works their way through the cake and now through turn number 7. The final time through turn number 8. Alex Tagliani with the lead.
It'll be 9, 10, and 11 for Alex Tagliani. This is where he had a hiccup last lap. Andrew Ranger with one more opportunity in turn 11. It's a low percentage move, but you got to know the driver from Roxton Pond is going to give it a try. Down the home stretch of the checkered flag. The Pinty Grand Prix is going to go to Alex Tagliani. Andrew Ranger second. LP Dumoulin third. Kevin Lacroix fourth. JF Dumoulin fifth. Holy moly, race fans. That was a battle.
That was a masterful job by Alex Tagliani on that restart. Allowed Andrew Ranger to get out in front of him. And as Andrew Ranger checked up, Tagliani hit the gas. Wow.
Man,
what a race that was.
He earned it. That's as good as stock car racing gets, in my opinion, Michael. Man, oh man, what a show. Always a great time. I'm heading to victory lane, my friend.
Our thanks to the voice of this NASCAR Pinty series, the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. Our thanks to Adam Ross. A fantastic job. Always great to spend time with Adam here in the public address booth. And congratulations to that man. Lachine, Quebec's Alex Tagliani will drive what's left of that number 18 to victory lane. What a fantastic race. And boy, you race fans were treated to a heck of a show. Our final race of the day. And there's the unofficial results for the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. Jason White 10th. DJ Kennington will finish 9th. Jason Hathaway 8th. Peter Kloot 7th. Anthony Simoni will come home 6th. Nice run for JF Dumoulin 5th. Kevin Lacroix comes home 4th. LP Dumoulin 3rd. Andrew Ranger, snookered at the restart, will come home 2nd. And your winner, Alex Tagliani. We have action starting bright and early tomorrow morning. And we thank you for being with us here today. A fantastic finish to a long day. Mother Nature thought she had us for a moment, but able to get the final 2 races in, and boy, was that ever worth it. So we will greet Alex Tagliani in the OLG winner's circle. I am sure he will be extremely excited. Was in a tough position. There he is, coming down the front straightaway, race fans. Give him a shout. He will make the turn down pit lane and head to the OLG winner's circle. Our congratulations to Alex Tagliani. Hopefully you fans will join us again tomorrow, race day, for the Honda Indy Toronto. Very, very busy morning. Schedule pretty much from start to finish, chock full of racing action. We'll quickly look at the schedule for tomorrow before we go to the OLG winner's circle. Join Adam Ross, and there he is. Stepping out of the Rona EpiPen Chevrolet. In the OLG winner's circle, one Lachine, Quebec's Alex Tagliani. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, 8:15, we'll have our Indy Lights second race. USF 2000 second race immediately following that at 9 o'clock. Indy Pro 2000 second race at 9:55. My apologies, qualies for the Indy Lights will start at 8:15. The Indy Lights second race will green flag at 11. Indy cars will warm up at 12:15. The Porsches will race at 1. Stadium Super Trucks will race at 2. And we will start our pre-race festivities with driver introductions coming just before 3 o'clock green flag for the Honda Indy Toronto at 3:35. Fans, don't forget, as you leave Exhibition Place, there he is. We'll remind you of that later. He's a happy young man. A nice round of applause. Your winner at the Pinty's Grand Prix of Toronto. There's Alex Tagliani. Of course, we thank you for joining us today. Have a safe commute home. Come back to join us tomorrow. Remember, the GO train to Exhibition Station is the easiest way to the Honda Indy Toronto. Trains every 30 minutes or less on the Lakeshore West Line. Plan your trip at gotransit.com. And we will be joined by Adam Ross and Alex Tagliani momentarily. What a fantastic finish to the day. That was worth every minute of the wait. Came down to a green-white checkered. There goes Andrew Ranger. Come home second today. Back to the paddock area. Kevin Lacroix coming home fourth, making his way back to the paddock. LP Dumoulin making his way back to the paddock area. LP coming home third this afternoon. Again, Indy Lights qualifying first thing out of the gate tomorrow morning at 8:15. And then we're packed full of racing action until the Honda Indy Toronto. Again, the green flag coming up 3:35 tomorrow afternoon. We'll join Adam Ross at the OLG Winner's Circle momentarily. What a fantastic day. All right. I'm sure he'll be an excited young man. Adam Ross, let's talk to our winner, Alex Tagliani.
Yeah, you saw last year, right? A bit of unfinished business. I tried to be a bit more protective this time. Obviously, it worked. Andrew raced me super clean, and he made a move early in the race. I saw that move, and I said he's not going to do it again. So, yeah, it's you know, the nature of the track, funneling into turn one, very inviting on the brakes. But the team brought some great cars this weekend. We're not happy with our results on ovals, but this track's been good to us. It seems like we turned our championship around this place, and hopefully it's the start of a long run.
Did you hold your breath when you snuck past Marc-Antoine Camerand after he got into the tire barrier there? When you watch the replay, you're going to be amazed.
Yeah, honestly, I saw turn 3. I saw turn 5. And then I say, well, if he does that again in turn 8, there's no way he's making it. And he was wheeling up in the car, braking very late. I understand. I mean, he was trying to give herself a gap, so not being under attack by us. And that was the right way to push. But, yeah, the wheel hop is what caught him at that corner.
Congratulations on another great victory, Alex.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we await the arrival of second and third place. They're on their way over here.